Money Homestead. How's that going? First thing on this video, before I forget or lose courage, sometimes when you're wrong, you're wrong. And I was wrong on one. I found out there's a little bit more to the story between Parler and Amazon. And let's just leave it at this. Amazon's all about making money. And for them to turn money away, okay, I mean, they're the biggest retailer out there, really. There had to be other things involved. And I did hear a rumor that there was other things involved. So while I wasn't given, I don't have all the details of just that those two sides to that story. So, yeah. So, yeah, if I, stepped on somebody's toes there and didn't need to, I do apologize, but, that's what media was carrying. I wasn't going to get into anything political, but I don't know, you say this political, it's almost getting to be comical. Yeah. January 20th or so, we had a new president inaugurated. Didn't say it was a good thing, but we did. He's up to, as of today, up to over 40 executive orders. 40. I was shocked when he got to 31. Yeah. Wow. And he's racking up the lawsuits. I mean, at least a good thing they filled some of those judge positions out there, because they're going to need them, because they've got suits being filed by all kinds of states, If somebody needs to tap poor Joe on the shoulder and say, listen, you were not elected God. You just can't do this stuff all by yourself, okay? I don't know whether sticking them in front of him and say, here, sign here, or what. But yeah, 40. Can you believe that stuff? Wow. I love it. They're getting a stunt suit out of them, I know that. Anyway, this is kind of a public service announcement. They're having a little problem getting your stimulus checks put together. There seems to be, it got tied up in some debate. See, they don't know whether to just send them to U.S. citizens, or whether they're going to send them to U.S. citizens and illegal aliens. Yeah, you heard me right. The people that broke the country's laws coming in, we're going to reward them with checks. Yeah, those folks. Yeah. I got an idea. Why don't we have a bigger debate? Government, if you're going to have to print up all this extra money to send illegal aliens stimulus checks, why don't you just go ahead and come up with the extra money and pass it out to real, live, honest-to-God Americans? Give them a little more, because what you guys are handing out isn't much enough. Wouldn't dream of telling you what to do. Yeah, illegal aliens. Yeah. Slap the Democrats, Just, we're already bankrupt in this country. Broke. And they're talking about doing that. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? I myself think it's extremely foolish. Anyway, what I really want to talk about is I've been getting some feedback on these homesteading videos, which I think is good. People are starting to look at, maybe it's time to get after this. And yes, it is. It's a very good time to get after it. Matter of fact, if you kind of get a sense of panic about you, to know that you're behind the curve right now. So dawdling is not going to be in your favor. That's number one. And like I said, there's so many different ways to get on land. Even if you lease land from a farmer or something of that nature. And a lot of times you can do that. Start putting it together, start downsizing, start making plans. You need to get out of the dreaming stage and get into the actual physical planning stage of, what do I need to do? How do I need to do it? Start reducing your debt. I don't care if it's only, if you've got a credit card bill, if you can only afford an extra $20-25 a month, put it toward it. Get your debt paid down as much as you can. But do not let that stop you from making the move onto the land. You pretty much want to be sitting on your property here in the next few months. Yeah, because first of spring, you need to be getting your gardens in and things of this nature. So it's going to be important to you. So don't let any grass grow under your feet, folks. Getting on your homestead, getting started, no matter how small, all kidding aside, by spring, I don't care if you got an acre of ground that you're living on. Get a garden in. Okay? Do everything you can do to get yourself up and running. All right? Now, today I want to talk to you a little bit about, because you have folks ask, well, where do I go to homestead? Well, one of the things you'd like to do, and this is not necessarily going to be a good thing as far as getting within an area on super cheap land, because most super cheap land is out in Tules. If you can afford it and think about it a little bit, or if you just happen to stumble across something, if you can find land that is within striking distance, more or less a few hour drive, a couple hours maybe tops, preferably less, within a metro area, like in Tennessee here, Chattanooga, Nashville, blah, blah. It gives you a bit more opportunity to earn income off of your land, because you can do things, the CSAs, everybody jumped into those things, and while there are still a few up and operating, CSAs are hard to get off the ground now because of mismanagement of people who started CSAs. Okay? There was a lot of very good people out there doing them, and then there was a lot who, let's just say, they overextended themselves and started making promises they couldn't keep, and the next thing you know, people started bad-mouthing them, and, here you go. You're on a downhill slide at that point. And then it's ruined it for a lot of these people who participated in these CSAs to get back into doing it again. Okay? Because actually what you're asking for is you're asking for folks to invest in your homestead or in your farm. And, when you get burned on some an investment, even though it's a minor investment for them, if you get burned, you're going to back away. So if you're looking at something like that, it's still a good idea, done right, but don't make promises you can't keep. Okay? Just tell them going in right at the get-go. I may plant a whole bunch of cucumbers and tell you we should have cucumbers and we should have this and we should have that. I can plant it, but I can also get hit with disease. I can get hit with insect invasion. I can get hit with all sorts of things, and suddenly I don't have these items. Don't hold me to it. It's part of the nature game, So if you want to try to do something like a CSA, be very straightforward with folks, okay? Don't promise anything you don't have in your hands. I've seen guys get in trouble with even eggs. One fella had a heck of an egg going production, and he also had 2 possums get inside his hen house. Yeah, their one was production. Okay, and it's I guess his people did not fully understand that these sort of things can happen. So that's something you want to let them know. Okay. Otherwise, set up a farmer stand, or set it up to where this is what I've got. I've got a box of this, and it's X number of dollars, and we can take it into town for you and have a drop-off spot. Things of that nature. Okay. Be careful with the CSAs. They're kind of getting a bad rap out there. Know what you can produce. I would not say, to jump into a CSA too quickly. Know what how things grow in your land. Know how comfortable you are with these things, stuff of that nature, and then move forward. Stuff like I know a lot of folks out there right now are doing a bang up job, really, with small little. I don't want to call it a store because it's really not. They set up a small building. They put some refrigeration and freezers in there, and they do things like they'll butcher a hog, and they'll butcher a cow, and they'll have a bunch of chickens that they butcher, and it all goes into their little store, and they sell it. Okay. And if it's like grass-fed beef and even grass-fed pork, get that too. Of course, pork does have to have some grain. And chickens that are free-ranged or whatever, you can fetch a decent price, especially if you're within striking distance of an urban area. Liver, or if you're 20 minutes outside of a major town, people will come to you. Very good way to go. Very profitable way to go. So there's a way once you get established a little bit and you start looking for generating income off of your homestead. Because you're still going to have electric, your normal living expenses, and you're going to have feed and, things of this nature. Build yourself a good comfort buffer zone there with how much cash you keep on hand to react to situations. And I know that's hard beginning. First few years starting out on a homestead, it gets pretty lean, folks. It really can. Especially if you hit any hiccups in the road. And most people hit them. At some point, you're going to hit them. I can't think of anybody that I know that at some point in their homesteading travels, they hadn't slammed face first into a brick wall at one point or another. You kind of back up, shake it off, and then let me walk around this wall instead of try to walk through it. It's just what you got to do, folks. So please, watch the CSA stuff. Once you're comfortable on your land, you know what you're doing with it. You know how it produces. You're having success producing. Then you might pick up a CSA kind of arrangement with some people. But do be honest with them, number one. And number two, don't get greedy, okay? Know that you can meet the demands of that CSA. Always give yourself some buffers. And even you might have a few folks that say, listen, right now this is all I can do. But if you'd like, if I, have extra, I can put a box together for you and let you know we have one here for you. So there's my suggestions. Take life easy. All right. Go slow. Watch the CSAs. Because if it keeps going bad out there for the CSAs, they're going to be very, very hard to start one. And they are a good way to generate some income. They really are. Kind of keep that in mind. Roadside stands, if you got good traffic around your homestead, to where they're going to and from a city, that's another plus. A lot of folks don't even understand that putting out a simple eggs for sale sign mean a lot. I would advise you not to put a price on it. And here's why. I have seen this, especially up in this area. You'd be driving down the road and here's a sign that says, eggs, $3.50 a dozen, range fed, free range eggs. I don't know how you free range an egg. They pretty much just lay there in the nest. But mama might be free range. Then all of a sudden drive down the road a little farther and there's somebody selling them for about 50 cents cheaper than they are on your sign. And you drive down a little farther, we had 4 places in a row on one road up here that it just kept dropping by 50 cents. All the same kind of thing. Free ranged eggs, So I would advise you to leave it price off, By the time they drive up your driveway and spend the time getting out of their car and talking to you and so forth, you get your price. Giving stuff away and will help you out at all. Okay? And really with egg sales, unless you're close to a large urban area. Now, if you can sell free-ranged eggs and things of this nature close to a city, you got a gold mine because they will pay the price. Anyway, this is going a little long. Sorry about sticking the political stuff in there, but I couldn't believe all that. 40, over 40. Whew, man. Love you guys, appreciate you. I hope you're having a great week so far. And I'm going to start just putting little snippets of information out there. I'm reading a book, have been for a few days now, that I had done a brief review on at one point, but I really dug into bought myself one because I thought, man, I'm kind of interested in that, and really dug into it. It's really a good book, and I'll be plugging it. Like I said, I wanted to mainly correct the thing with Amazon. I'm not sure how bad they were being. Okay, there was two sides to that whole story, so don't hold that against them. That's all I got right now on this topic. Please, please, please get out of the dreaming stage and get into the planning stage. Have a great week. Talk to you later.